How's it going, everybody? This is TrixX Smash, welcome back to yet another online Elite Smash match. And buddy, you look incredible today. Just in case no one's let you know, buddy, hopefully you're having a fantastic day. What we do on this YouTube channel is take your comments, yes, the comments from the viewers, and turn your comments into videos and answer your questions. So if you're someone who has a question you want to have it turned into a video, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll turn it into a video. So today's question comes from The Real Super, and his question is, how do I prepare for my first local tournament ever? He says he's a Mario main and he feels like he has his combos down pretty well, but he's a little bit on the nervous side to go into a tournament for the first time, and he just wants to do as well as he possibly can. So I have some great news for you, buddy. If you're somebody that doesn't know, I am someone who's coached over 1,200 players one-on-one in the last 5 years, and I've helped thousands of players join and enter their very first tournament, whether it's online or offline. So you are in fantastic hands. So what's happening to you right now can be summed up very simply. What's happening to you is called Bedroom Shredder Syndrome. Say that 3 times fast. Bedroom Shredder Syndrome. It's actually not, I'll tell you right now, it's not easy to say 3 times, so I'm not even gonna try. But what this means is that you are someone who's played and perfected their skills behind closed doors for so long that you might actually be a pretty decent player, but you've never ever had to perform in front of people. This is something that happens for bedroom shredders. If you don't know what a bedroom shredder is, I'll explain that to you because I kind of just glazed over that as if you would already know. But what that is somebody who is a musician who plays guitar in their room for 10 hours a day and has never performed live because they are afraid of being judged, but they themselves are fucking demons at playing guitar, but they think that they're not that great. And the reason why is because they've never had any sort of feedback and they are afraid to get it. And understandably so. If you're someone who has been playing guitar or any sort of music for a very long time, you hold your music and your skills very near and dear to you. So to have somebody tell you that you actually suck, or maybe even just finding out that the 4 or 5 or 10 years that you put in have been a complete waste of time, and the horrible truth that you've been worried about is now actually reality. So this is what I'll say, little buddy. What's happening to you as well is you've created what is called Schrodinger's cat experiment. You may have never heard of that before. I'm not going to go too deep into it. If you are a philosopher or a connoisseur of the great I think arts or something, I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say here, but I'll try to explain it quickly. And what it basically is, a Schrodinger's cat experiment is that you've created 2 parallel timelines in your life or in your head where you could go to a tournament and you could be absolutely fucking terrible, and that could be one reality, or you can go to a tournament and you can actually do quite well and surprise yourself. So you have 2 parallel timelines that exist at the exact same time. But the caveat is that if you don't go, you will never shatter one of those realities to find out the truth about yourself. And so it's safer and easier to just live in purgatory or in limbo and never actually find out, am I good or am I bad? If I keep myself from competing, I'll always be able to convince myself that I am quite good at the game and nobody can challenge that. And so you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so if I want to go to this tournament and I don't want to be nervous, is there anything I can actually do? And the answer, the truth that no one's going to tell you, the truth is no, there's nothing you can do to not be nervous. That doesn't mean that you won't perform well. That does not mean that you won't perform well. And I'll even go as far as to say this, if you are nervous, that means that you care. If you're not nervous to go for your very first tournament, that means you don't care if you perform well or poorly, because the outcome is kind of, it is whatever. And you just don't care, but you want to do well, which means being nervous is not a bad thing. You might shake when you're playing, you might feel nervous, you might strike a stage by accident that was actually a good stage for you, and you might accidentally not ask about a certain rule such as DSR or something like that, and you might get swindled or finessed, because I will say that these Smash players are fucking slimy when it comes to competing, and if they want to win and you don't know the rules or you make a mistake because you're nervous, it can happen and you will feel quite bad when it happens. I'll tell you right now, you'll be very, very upset when it does happen. But here's what I will say. Once you have experience, the next time you'll go twice as confident as the first time, and then so on and so forth continuously until one day you actually are not nervous at all because you've gotten the reps in. And this is something that gets overlooked all the time, and that is getting repetitions in things that make you uncomfortable. And I always reference music, because if you are a musician and you have never sang a song in front of someone, or played guitar or played the piano in front of somebody, whether it's at a campfire or a recital or a bar or anything like that, if you've never done it, you will always be terrified the very first time. Your heart will be pounding, your hands will be shaking, your mom's spaghetti will most definitely be on your sweater, and you'll not be not having a great time, I will say. But once you're done, you'll be like, I could have done better than that. I could have done better than that. That wasn't really as bad as I thought. I kind of made it feel worse than it actually is. I kind of had that idea in my head where it's like, my first time going on a roller coaster, or first time bungee jumping, or first time skydiving, the anticipation of what it's gonna be like is worse than how it actually is. I wanna say that again. The anticipation of what it's going to be like is always worse than how it actually is. And I want to share with you guys a story about myself way back in Smash 4. Yes, when I first started playing Smash 4, I was a lowly streamer who was just playing with the friends in Elite Smash, or not Elite Smash, for glory, I will say. It was for glory. And I had never competed before, and I had a friend in real life who said, you should come to this tournament and give it a shot and see how you do. And I will say that I was absolutely fucking terrified, but I tried my best. I tried my absolute best, and I ended up coming 3rd place. Take this in, this is my first tournament ever, and I played Falco in Smash 4, who was arguably a bottom 10 or possibly even bottom 5 character. I think he got buffed towards the end of the game, but this was early on in the game's life cycle, and this character was fucking ass, but I ended up coming 3rd place. And another thing that you mentioned in your comment as well is that you're not sure of the skill level or the characters that you're going to be fighting against, and you don't want to get finessed or potentially embarrassed by someone who's very, very good, or even lose to someone who's quite bad and make yourself feel even worse about yourself. But I can tell you that all I did is try. That's it. All I did was try. I didn't know anything about matchups. I didn't even know how to do jab lock setups. I didn't know anything about tech chasing. I didn't know anything at all. All I could do was get my opponents off stage and try and catch them with fair, try and catch them with dare, shoot lasers, play very Falco 101. I'll even say this, my Falco in Smash 4 was fucking cringe. I had no combos. The best combo I had was probably down throw fair or dare into up tilt into nair. It was horrendous, but it didn't matter. I still went. I might have embarrassed myself. I got on stream one time and I got absolutely clapped by a Bowser player. Yes, it was quite bad. His name was Godspeed. I remember it quite well. And he shit on my fucking face. And it was like, you know what? It is what it is. I ended up going into losers, and then I lost to a DK. And oh no, it wasn't a DK. It was a Corrin player. The DK actually won the tournament. Shout out to G. If you know, you know. But he ended up winning, and I lost to a Corrin and I lost to a Bowser. And it was a really rough life for me. But I will say I ended up coming 3rd place. Brother, 3rd place for my first tournament ever. Was it because I was so good? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All I did was try, and that's it. And that's all you can really do. And just as a little side note to show you how fucking cringe I actually was, this was at somebody's house, and since I had never been to a tournament before, I tried to be hospitable, and I didn't know that this is something that people would or would not do, but I actually ended up bringing pop and chips for everyone. Is that fucking weird? Yes. Did I know that you're not really supposed to do that? No, I didn't know that, but I'm fucking weird, I suppose. And that's what I did because it's my first tournament ever. Was it cringe? I suppose so. Very side note thing, but I will say I kind of just was existing, and I ended up going there and I made some friends at the same time. People were very happy about the Doritos. Hashtag not sponsored, I will say. Doritos. Shoot some money your boy's way, I will say. Starving Smash player. It's quite cringe, I will say. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. I will say the last most important thing that I started to do for myself, but I did this more so as a musician, and I kind of carried it over towards Smash a little bit, and that was having some sort of rituals for myself to get myself in the zone or the mindset or calm my nerves to the best of my ability before going into a tournament, or in my case, performing live music. But I did it for both. And these are a couple things that you can do for yourself. One of those things is whenever I was competing and I felt like I was gonna be very nervous, I would always wear a sweater because I for whatever reason, call me weird for this, but I liked being able to tuck my elbows into my sides and have that sweater kind of hold me down. Is that cringe? Is it almost like I had a body pillow that I brought to the Smash tournament? Maybe, I don't know. But that's what I did, and it made me feel a lot better because for myself, and this is very real, I will say, it's a little bit vulnerable, I will say, is I used to shiver a lot when I started competing because I was so nervous. I'm not even joking about this, but that's one thing that I used to do. I used to do that, and I also used to buy a hot chocolate. I'd have a hot chocolate and I'd wear a sweater every single tournament until I was comfortable. So the fun thing about this for yourself, Mr. Super, is that you can make up your own rituals. If you have a certain favorite song that you want to listen to, then by all means do that. If you have a favorite hat or sweater or whatever it might be that you have to wear that just gives you good luck and maximizes your aura to the best of your ability, then by all means you should do those things. If it makes you get in the zone, it makes you feel comfortable, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There are certain players out there that do this every single tournament. For example, somebody like Apollo Kage, if you know who that is, he is the snake player who dresses and has the rainbow sweater with the Luffy hat. He wears that basically every single tournament. And is it a ritual of his? Absolutely. If you think he's doing it for comedic effect, he is absolutely not. There's a small inkling in his mind that when he wears that particular outfit, it gives him more confidence or more strength, or it gives him maximum aura, or it calms his nerves, but it's something that he does every single tournament. So I am not the only person that has rituals. Apollo Kage is not the only one that has rituals. Some other players, they might keep it a little bit more low key, I will say. They might keep it a little bit more key as far as doing things pre getting on stage, whether it's the music or they have a certain drink or whatever it is. But these are the types of things that you can do to make sure that you have a good tournament. And on top of all of this, I want to point this out. This is very important as well. So Mr. Super, if you take away nothing, at least take this away, because this will at least give you the kickstart that you need to continue to compete a little bit more. And that is, no matter how prepared you get, you will never feel prepared enough. And this is a very, very real thing for musicians as well, and that is the same thing. The bedroom shredder goes through the exact same thing. People who write music say to themselves, the song could always be a little bit better. I could change one lyric or one note or change the inflection on my voice for one sentence and it'll be a little bit better. But here's the thing, it will always have the ability to be better. You will always have the ability to increase your skills or try to maximize your combos or whatever it might be infinitely to feel like you are now perfectly prepared. But guess what? You will never feel perfectly prepared for your first tournament, and that is totally okay. You just have to bite the bullet and go into it no matter what and just do the best you possibly can. I'll also say finally that if you enjoyed the conversation and you want to ask more questions, please guys leave comments down below, because the last video you guys absolutely cooked. I'm going to be spending basically all day going over these comments and turning them into videos. You guys had some very, very good questions, so I appreciate all of that on the channel. But on top of that as well, guys, if you do want to hang out and ask some questions in real life in real time, be sure to swing by the Twitch. I've changed up my time. For those of you who might have noticed that I'm now streaming at 8 p.m. Eastern rather than midnight. I want to try to accommodate more of you guys because many of you guys are getting to bed quite early, and I can understand that and I fully respect that. And once again, guys, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.